Hey, I want to thank you for taking your time to join us here on Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and I'm a little bit nervous on this one because normally when we do pet tapings, I usually hold them one way or another. But group that's joining us today is Until Such Time, and in the studio with us, well, that would be Savanah Lay. And Savanah, that is the biggest dog, and I don't know if you can read it from the camera out back, but on his collar it says beast mode. That is crazy. What kind of dog is that?
So this is Ego. He is actually one of our success stories, so our successful adoptions. He is half Presa Canario and half Pit Bull. We did a DNA test on him. We were kind of excited to find out. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me a little bit about what he does. He's very, if you can tell there's a small child in the studio. That's your son?
Yes.
Six months old?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. Any movements, anything whatsoever towards the baby, and he's just so protective. Talk to me a little bit about his background.
Absolutely. So Ego actually came to the sanctuary Until Such Time when he was about 4 months old. He was sold to a family, and unfortunately they had an incident in their home, and we don't know a whole lot of details about it, but they took him to the vet and they asked for him to be euthanized at 4 months old.
Wow.
Thankfully, the vet said, I don't think that's necessary, and the vet called us and asked if we would kind of just give him one more chance to see if we could do something with him. The family said that he was extremely aggressive, uncontrollable, wasn't safe. So lie down, stay, good boy.
Wow.
And so we took him in, and we didn't really see anything major, but as a puppy, it's a big adjustment going from living in a family to living in a kennel. And so I talked to the founder, Miss Jill, and I said, hey, we're not really seeing a whole lot of issue. Why don't I take him home and I'll foster him a little bit? He very well could be aggressive. We don't know for sure, but I'll foster him and see. Maybe we'll take him out and see what clicks. Maybe it's a trigger. And that was about 2.5 years ago. And I've never looked back since. So.
Are you serious? So you're the success story.
Dog, yes.
Oh wow! So really, you've had him before the baby, and now so now that you have the baby, is he a lot more protective?
So when he was probably about 6 or 8 months old, we started actually doing protection work with him. He's definitely a big love bug to his family, but those that are not within our household, he looks at with a little bit of suspicion. Who are we? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen that look.
I've been in the studio many years, and I treaded gently each time I walked in.
You're giving him a big old wide circle.
I mean, Supertramp said it best. I took the long way home.
But yeah, so we kind of just discovered that it wasn't really that he was aggressive necessarily, but he lacked boundaries, he lacked training, and his breed is known to be very protective. They're very, very strong. He's 120 some odd pounds. So with the right training and the right care and in the right hands, he's thriving. So
we have a success story. I guess we put the horse before the cart on this, literally.
Right?
But let's talk a little bit about Until Such Time. We heard it kind of in the opening that it's a sanctuary.
It is.
For the best explanation. Talk to me a little bit about Until Such Time and how it came about and how you guys take care of animals like him.
So our founder is Jill Wallace, and she opened up Until Such Time back in 2020. She founded UST because she saw a need for dogs like Ego, where they're really, really good dogs, but they're just not in the right situation, or the families that take them in, even though they're extremely well-meaning, just can't manage them as well as they need to be managed. And so it creates these problems, whether it's dog aggression, whether it's people aggression, whether it's whatever the case may be, that they're not thriving in their homes. And so what she did is she decided that she was going to take these dogs in and help rehabilitate them and find them ideal homes. And if we can't find an ideal home, then the dog lives permanently either with Miss Jill or myself or another professional trainer who can give them the structure that they lack. So we take in dogs that are difficult. We take in those last chance dogs that are one step from euthanasia.
Talk to me, is it mostly a boundary issue? Is it like with him, when it comes, or is it more complex? There's no one solution, more or less, I'm guessing, right?
It's definitely not one size fits all, and honestly, anything in dogs is never one size fits all. So a lot of it is lack of leadership in the home, just lack of knowledge. You know, it's never intentional. I don't think anyone sets out to create a bad dog, but you know, these dogs, they have needs, or they have impulses, or there's genetics at play, and the families are going into it, and either they don't really know what they're getting into, or they've been misled about what kind of dog they have on their hands, and it just, you know, it's like apples and oranges. You know, sometimes they're great together and sometimes not so much. And so it's finding what works for the dog, you know, whether it's a training philosophy or a structural issue in the home, or boundaries or leadership. You know, it just kind of depends on the animal in front of you.
I had 2 black labs, and the hardest 2 years for me was the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And then it's like the light came on, and they became the most incredible dogs.
Yeah.
And to this day, wow, I miss them. Miss them like a bear misses questions on a math quiz. But you know, but it's understanding their behaviors and adapting, and then them understanding yours. Say that there is an animal such as him, and folks have him, and they're seeing this for the first time, and they don't know where to go, what to do. They don't want to give up the animal. Can you do consulting work? Can you talk to me a little bit how you can help folks in need?
Yeah, absolutely. Our goal, you know, is not only to help these guys, but to help families as well. You know, ideally, we want to keep those pets in the home. So we have a team of trainers that are well versed in behavior modification that we can refer you to in order to help families keep their pets in their home in order to work through some of the behaviors. So we're able to help not only take in the dog if we can in order to rehabilitate, but we can help you, show you how to rehabilitate your dog and to create a more peaceful lifestyle and keep families together.
One of the things that I really dig is the fact that it's a canine sanctuary, and it's really, it says it in the title, until such time. It is a home for them. Talk about what their life is like with you guys and what they're going through as an animal until they find their forever home.
Yeah, absolutely. So we shy away from the word rescue because our goal is not to take in animals and immediately adopt them out. The dogs that we bring in, at minimum, will stay with us for at least 6 months. Most of the dogs that we adopt out have been with us for at least a year, if not longer. And so what that looks like is the dog comes in, we do an evaluation, as most people talk about when we talk about rescue. It takes about 3 months for a dog to really show its true colors and to decompress from the situation it was in prior. So we want that dog to really show us everything. We want to see the good, the bad, the ugly. So it takes us a while to kind of get to know them, to know their quirks, what they like, what they dislike, what's going to set them off. And so they live either in the facility at the kennel, they live with our founder Jill in her home, they'll live with me in my home, or they'll live with one of our trainers in their home, just kind of depending on who has the space at the moment, to be honest. And so they live a normal dog lifestyle, modified just for that individual dog, just depending on, okay, well, this dog doesn't like other dogs, so obviously he's not going to go out and play with other dogs. But we do a lot of training work. people always say, you know, how often should we train our dogs? And every moment of every day is a training opportunity. You know, we're teaching our dogs every moment what we will and won't accept, what we will and won't allow, what's going to get them rewarded, what's going to get them further ahead. And so, you know, we do have structured training sessions where we work specifically on issues, but overall we just give them a very structured lifestyle that, you know, they're in crates at night just like you would at your house, so they don't sleep in bed with us because that's kind of hard when you have 10 to 12. It's a very full bed.
I just can't imagine the bed that he would.
California king for sure. So, you know, and then there's breakfast in the morning. We do walks. It might take, you know, some of the dogs can go together. So the dogs that are friendly with each other, they go out. We do we call it a crate and rotate system. So some dogs are going to be in their kennels while others are loose hanging out. And then they'll go back and put in their crates while somebody else gets a turn to be loose. It's very structured. It's very, you know, we've got to make sure that everybody has that time to be social, to be mentally fulfilled, to be physically fulfilled, and that bonding time as well. So it just is, it's a whole scheduled day every day.
From the animal standpoint, and it's an incredible thing that you guys do in making sure that they have a quality of life, but it takes efforts of people, it takes food, it takes everything. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys are funded, and then if folks want to help out and see this story, how they can help you.
Absolutely. So we are working on finding grants and that sort of thing. It's been a little bit difficult. Our time is so consumed by the dogs, as you can imagine, that being able to find that funding can be difficult. We definitely rely on donations and generous gifts from people in order to help fund the monthly food, the preventatives, the housing costs of the ones that do live in the kennel, the training salaries for our trainers, because, you know, some of them are able to donate some of their time, but ultimately it takes a lot, you know, and that high of an education. We want to make sure that we stay up on our education so that we're doing things the best that we can for the animals. And so right now we've got about 35 in our care. We operate very, very small because that's all we can handle at the moment. Our normal cap is about 25. So we're about 10 over our limit right now. And it makes it so hard because we still get phone calls, you know, sometimes daily of, you know, this is really, really hard for me. My dog is this many years old. I've had him for this long. He's been a family member, and all of a sudden we're needing to give him up. You know, he has a bite record. Can you take him? And I have to say no, because we don't have the resources. We don't have the finances to be able to do it. And, you know, there's not anybody else, as far as I know, in Polk County that does what we do. You know, you say that, hey, my dog has bitten somebody, that's a death sentence for most of them. Most rescues aren't going to touch that. So where do they go from here? You know, if we can't help them, what's your next step? And so it makes it really, really difficult. It's heartbreaking to have to deny these people, or just say, hey, can you hang on to them for another month while I get one of these other guys adopted out? And that's an opportunity too. Not all of the dogs that we get in are severe behavioral cases. Some of them are just a little misunderstood, and so we do a little bit of training, a little bit of manners 101, and we're good to go. And that is what's nice about our dogs. So all the dogs that we do adopt out, they come fully vetted, so they have all of their vaccines. They are spay or neutered. They do have Manners 101 basic obedience training. So every dog that we adopt out knows sit, down, come, stay, walk nicely on a leash. They come pre-trained for you. And then we offer lifetime support as well. So a month from now, you've adopted a dog from us. You know, a month from now, you say, hey, I'm having this issue. You know, can you help? I'm going to send a trainer out to you right away. Like, I want to make sure that that dog stays in the home with you. I joke with people that when you adopt from us, my goal is to convince you otherwise. So you're going to know everything about this dog start to finish. We're very, very transparent. I'm going to tell you about his history as much as I know. I'm going to tell you about his quirks. I'm going to tell you what he likes, what he doesn't like. I'm going to tell you, you know, what's going to set him off. Like, I'm going to tell you everything. And if at the end you're like, yeah, no, I can handle that, then amazing. That's great. So
we've got about 30 seconds left. We know the incredible work that you do, and we know the animals that you help. But the reason you're here is to get help, and get help from the community. Talk to those folks, talk to them, and tell them why they should help you and get involved.
So Until Such Time is an extremely unique organization. There is not anybody in Polk County who does what we do. We help these dogs before they have to be put down. We are their last stop before euthanasia. In order to keep doing what we do, we need the financial support in order to expand our operation, to be able to help more dogs, and to be able to bring in more dogs like Ego and like the others. You can find us anywhere on social media if you search Until Such Time Canine Sanctuary. If you just search the phrase, it comes up a little silly, but Until Such Time Canine Sanctuary is who we are. It's what we do. Social media on our website, untilsuchtime.org. My buddy, sorry.
He's good.
You're sucking up, dude. You're helping big time. But we're just looking for help. We do accept fosters as long as you have experience in complex dogs. We're more than happy to help do foster work and to help you keep your dog in your home if you are experiencing issues. Please, please, please reach out. We're happy to help.
Savanah, this has been like one of the most touching interviews. I mean, I look at him and I am in amazement at the brute force that he has, but the love that he shows, and that's a testament to the work that you guys do. Anytime that we can help you promote anything, you want to come back in and talk a little bit more in depth, please come back, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. I'll bring a couple of our adoptable dogs next time as well. That way you can play with them a little bit more.
All right, we'll see you next time, all right?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Until Such Time is a 501c3, not-for-profit, no-kill canine sanctuary located in Lakeland. Their job is to facilitate care, training, and a place to stay for pups before they find their forever home. Using their unique approach to behavioral training, physical conditioning, hands-on dog bonding techniques, they help their dogs not only find their best home, but also their best canine selves. Now, if you need more information, check them out on the web at untilsuchtime.org or find them on Facebook at Until Such Time. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.